Good morning, traders. Today is Wednesday, January 18th. My name is Charles, and this is Pirate Traders live stream. All right, well, what do we got going on here? Well, let's start actually looking at the daily. Really quickly, I just want to show that this is kind of a bullish. There's momentum in the market right here. Okay. So the first order of business today is to ask ourselves, do we still have that momentum? Or is this consolidation sideways? Is this the market showing us that that momentum is coming to an end and it needs to pull back? Oh, I wanted to start zoomed out just to show you the amount of weakness we've left behind on the way up. Generally, leaving this much weakness behind tells us the market needs some kind of liquidation at some point to come back and backfill some of this. But it is important to remember when the market gets very, very bullish, when we get into that kind of like stonks only go up mode, we can leave weakness behind. So we make note of it, but we're not obsessed with it. We just keep it in the back of our mind and we focus on one piece of information at a time. So right now, the first thing that I'm paying attention to is the fact that we are spending so much time and bringing in so much volume up here in the upper distribution of Friday's range. Friday was the day where we really kind of officially poked through that longer term downtrend that we've been in. And since then, it is true we have not been able to get any continuation, but we have been able to spend a lot of time and bring in a lot of volume above that level. That to me is bullish to see, increasing the odds that whenever this consolidation breaks, it's going to break to the upside. That being said, the weak low that we left behind yesterday remains weak. It was not repaired by the overnight. So as the market gets ready to open here in about 1 minute, because we are opening inside the previous day's range, the highest probability, there you go, the market is open. The highest probability this morning is that we will get chop. What chop basically means is that the market will spend a certain amount of time grinding up and down inside a certain range where the buyers and sellers will be competing. They'll be playing tug of war to try to see which way they can break the market. So the levels I'm watching for support and resistance in the chop today is basically the two larger nodes on the cumulative here. So you're looking at like 40.13 and 40.35. So in between those two levels, I will just see this as a chop zone and assume even if they push it up, they could just pull it right back down. Even if they start to punch it down, they can just pull it right back up. Okay? So the first signal to me that the market might be ready to go higher will be getting above that overnight high and then seeing, are there new buyers up there or do we just get smacked right back down and chop it up? And to the downside, the first thing I'd want to see is getting through this very large node where we've spent a lot of time and brought in a lot of volume. This area here is now very strong support for continuation higher. So I would need to see this break before looking for the market to go lower. In between those two, chop it up. Chop it up. What? Let's just take a moment. I wanted to spend a little more time on the daily this morning. We didn't get a chance because I was late. All right. So I just want to take a second to point out this area back here, which was a previous balance area that the market had been stuck in. So the market made its lows. It came up here. It had this balance. Tried to go higher, couldn't do it, came back through. Tried to go lower, couldn't do it, came back through. And then it tested this stronger downtrend. It failed. Where did it come straight back through? That balance once again. Another look below and fail was the next slingshot to try to break through. Once again, failed, couldn't do it. Where did it go? Straight through. Bam. Okay. So let's just pause for a moment and go back to that original balance area. What are we doing now? Spending time and bringing in volume above that level. This time around, on the way up, we passed right through it, the way we passed right through it on the way down. Again, that's bullish to see. We already debated this area. We went to war over it again and again and again. We tried to take the market higher. We tried to take it lower. We tried to take it higher. We tried to take it lower. It would seem if we can start to build volume and spend time above that level, we're ready to take prices somewhere new. Of course, as day traders, we take it one tick at a time. So for now, chop it up. By the way, you guys, not to toot my own horn here, but this level you see marked as support, I marked that on Friday as the back test of this break. And look what the overnight did. To a tick, twice. There you have it, folks. That's your chop zone. Who's going to win? Can the buyers break through the resistance, or can the sellers break through the support? Until one side or another does it, we're just going to keep bouncing between the two. If you have not yet, please smash that like button. I sure would appreciate it. Got nothing else to do as we just chop it up anyway. Okay, we got a weak low. But of course, that's normal to see in a chop zone. $56 likes. Come on, guys. We can do better than that. I'm telling you, this market is not going anywhere until those likes get pumped. Okay? You want to break out of this chop zone? You gotta smash that thumbs up button. Today's actually a great day for a survey. Let us know what you think in the chat. Are we just going to chop it up all day long? Are we going to have another rotational day inside yesterday's range? Or, all right, so support is holding so far. Are we going higher? Are we going lower? Where do you think the market is going to go throughout the day today? Let us know in the survey. It's completely anonymous. Nobody will know what you picked. So it's okay to be wrong. Just make a guess. We got 151 people hanging out, but only 52 votes. Come on, guys, where do you think the market's going to close? Surely you have a guess. Are we going up today? Are we going down? Are we going nowhere? What do you think? Okay, so support is holding for now. The next question is, what happens with the halfback? Often, if the market is going to break a chop zone one way or another, it will first find support or resistance there. So do we get resistance? No, sir. The chop continues. $72 votes. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Vote now or forever hold your peace. Do you think this chop zone is breaking to the upside or the downside? Or not at all? And the results are rotational. 38% see the market going higher, 33% see it going sideways, and 28% see it going lower. So we have a very neutral to slightly bullish bias here in the chat. I don't hate that. Michael says, market has been hitting a ceiling the last 3 days and could not go higher overnight either. So I think it's getting ready to pull back. It's certainly possible. But this is the reverse side of that argument, right? Is that it hasn't been failing to go up. It's been failing to pull back. It's been holding up here. And instead, that's bringing in more and more buyers. It's convincing more and more people. Wait, something's changed. Maybe I should be long the market. I'm in a lot of cash right now. Maybe I should just put a little bit of risk on the table. And as more and more time is spent up here at this higher price, more and more people are convinced. I don't want to miss it. It's going to take off any day. Look at it coiling. Ooh, I got to get long the market. So you could be right. I'm not arguing that that's impossible. That is certainly one scenario to consider. But I have found that when the market pushes to a new high and then it just stays up there, that is a sign of acceptance of that new high, meaning you don't need the pullback. Tom, there's something happening here, but it's not exactly clear, but it's like I said, to me, it's sending a signal. We need only look at the daily. Sideways just means it's trying to decide, but every other signal is pointing up. Tempo picking up a little bit here. Was there a news drop today at 9:45? That must be it. Fed Bullard. Come on, Bullard. What you got for us? Can you break the chop zone? All right, so the halfback starting to hold his resistance. So they're looking to test the support once again. Chilling with Dylan. Dude, we have 3 effing Fed speakers today. Bring it on, man. Bring on the chaos. Oh, it's probably because of the Davos thing. That makes sense. All the powerful people are hanging out together. Lots to talk about. Man, these are prime chop zone conditions. Passing back through the halfback again. The chop will continue. You got a perfect bell-shaped curve on the morning's trade so far, meaning that when they tried to take the market higher, they ran out of buyers. When they tried to take the market lower, they ran out of sellers. Liquidity is thin. Just no one making a bet. It's all just bots trading against bots, poking the market around, chopping it up. Okay, so as always with a chop zone, we play the game. Can we turn halfback into support or resistance? If the halfback can hold here, they can head on up and take another poke at the resistance above. But if it breaks through, more chop. Can they hold it? And once again, that's a no on the support. Chop continues. Daniel says the ticks still haven't reached the zero line. It's a great point that the pirate trader sucks. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. Ticks still haven't gotten back to the zero line. Yeah, that is a sign that the overnight inventory is still a little bit net long. I can't stop laughing at that. Well played to whoever did that. But anyway, it's further just a sign. Further just a sign that they don't need to pull the market back. Jean-Marc says, do you have a site? Do you give training? I do not speak French, so I can't help you there. But yeah, if you look down in the description below, you'll see there's an e-course. You just click on that link. It'll take you to my website. That e-course teaches you everything I look at in terms of the market profile and the two-way auction. And if you watch that and you like it, you could join the brigade. And then you'll get to watch the live streams. Speaking of which, only 10 more of these public live streams left. And then we're going behind the paywall. Roger, yeah. Roger that. Okay, so 10 a.m. brought us in a little pop, testing the resistance above. We also pulled the value area right up against the high of the day. That is a little bit bullish to see. Actually, we also made a weak high as well, so that is also a little bit bullish to see. So you got a weak high that needs repair. That's like a magnet pulling on price. You got the value area pushing right up against the high of the day. That's a sign the market needs more excess to the upside. So this is starting to develop a little bullish. Now the question is, can they get above the overnight high? If so, can they get above yesterday's high? And then if so, can they bring in new buyers up there? Or do they just poke up and then pull right back down? As of now, it's still in a chop zone until they get above yesterday's high and bring in those new buyers. Don't chop zone all day long. So obviously we got this super weak high up here. Why did they do that? Why do they make those weak highs? So that you think to yourself, I should go short. This is definitely the place for me to get short. We're going to keep doing this chopping. But if I am going to go short here, where would I put my stop? I'd probably, why not put it right there? But little do I know, I'm creating liquidity. Sure, we may chop back down again, but I'm giving the market food to come back for. Because I'm weak. All right, heading back up to test that iceberg again at the week reference. Can we break on through? Can we break it? Somebody's doing something with size up here. All right, here we go. Test the week reference. Only 300 stops? Nope, there's more. There's more. So with the way that we're creating this super weak high up here, which again tells me they're just trying to get people short, okay, so that they can get their stops up here and then come and chew them up like they just did with that 300 right there and that 150 right there. If we now find support here at the halfback, I will become bullish. I want to see that support first to give me that confirmation the chop is over, because obviously this looks like it could be a look above and fail type of move. But if we get those buyers now, they're going to come poke through this. No doubt about it. So I'll get bullish if they're there. Let's see what happens. Hello, Screwball. All right, so we're back at halfback. Moment of truth. Are we finally ready to break out of this chop zone? Can they hold the halfback? Or will the chop continue? They've created a huge magnet to pull price back up here. They've got value telling us that they want more excess to the upside. So now all we need to see is proof that they can hold that support. If they can't, and we pull back through the halfback again, well, the chop will continue. And we're back down to test support once again. So will the halfback hold? Malang, how do you calculate halfback? It's halfway the current range. So from market open to market close, or from market open to now, it's the middle of the range. Okay, so somebody brought up earlier the ticks. They had not been able to make their way back to the zero line yet, meaning that there was still overnight inventory that was net long that had not yet taken profits. We've as good as gotten back to the zero line now. We got to it on the NQ, and we got pretty close on the NYSE. Yes, sir. They won me over. I'm bullish. As long as we remain above the opening price, I'm bullish. All right, moment of truth. Can they hold the support here? So far, they've given us every indication they will. All right. Not today. The chop continues. All right. So failure to break out above the high increases the odds. We need to pull back down and test the support. So we're once again looking at this big node right here, assuming it's going to act as support, and the chop between the two is going to continue until we can break through this. That was the buyer's chance, and they failed. Increasing the odds. It's about to get real boring for the next few hours. So we can see now with that pullback, we've pulled the value area back down. So before, the value area was pushing up against the high of the day, telling us we needed more excess to the upside. The failure of the buyers to take advantage of that opportunity has changed the signal. So now the value area pulling back down is giving us another bell-shaped curve and looking like more chop. Scooball says, that support 1 TPO from halfback was weak. So much stops placed there. Yes, sir. You're correct. Everything is weak. It's a chop zone. They're not trying to take it higher or trying to take it lower. They're just trying to take the short-term traders' money, chopping it up until they decide. All right, so now the question is, this area up here around the 40-30 area that was acting as support to try to take the market higher, does it now become resistance to smack it back down, as would be expected in a chop zone? All right, guys. So as we get ready to print the C period here in about a minute. Oh, there you go. Or I should have said in about a second. Let me tell you where I'm going to leave you here today. This market, the way it's been moving, the way it's been kind of doing its thing, to me is still bullish. It still seems like it wants to test higher prices, but that it doesn't have the momentum yet. It should have been able to find support at halfback that last time and then break the highs, or at least try to anyway. But that tick crashing and burning back through the zero line and the price crashing and burning back through the halfback was a sign that they just don't have the buyers yet. So even though I think the higher probability is that we're going to break higher, it's not, the market's not ready for it yet. So the signals that we're looking for now is basically, first and foremost, we're watching halfback, okay, which is right here at 40.24. When that becomes support or resistance, so if it becomes resistance, it means we're going to head lower. When it becomes support, it means we're going to head higher. As long as we keep passing through it, it means we're just going to keep chopping, okay? So that's the first thing we're watching. The next thing we're watching is the break of the initial balance. So this A and B period together make up the initial balance. So if the C period comes down and it breaks that initial balance to the downside, or it comes up and it breaks the initial balance to the upside, that will increase the odds that the market is at least trying to break in that direction. Now, I would add caution if we're talking about breaking the lows, because as I've said over and over again, the market has spent a lot of time and brought in a lot of volume around these levels here around 40.12. So there's a lot of support in here. We may start one time framing lower and get nothing for it and then come right back up. So those are the things to watch. Can we break the high? Can we break the low? If we do, if it's the low, can we get through this support? And if it's the high, can we bring in new buyers for continuation? In the middle, more chop, and it may last for hours. Sometimes the market just doesn't have the buyers or sellers to go anywhere, and it just creates one of these little tight little bell-shaped curves and just drives you nuts, thinking it's going to go one way or the other, and it just keeps going. So wait for that initial balance break, and the first clue that you're going to get it will be support or resistance at the halfback. Good luck. Happy trading. Members of the brigade, head on over to the private stream. Thanks a lot.